Auspicious greetings to all my friends. Welcome to the Sunday check-in session, a half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connections. My name is Xiaomeng, and I have been a member of this community since 2020. If you are a new member, please accept our wholehearted welcome. If you have any questions about our practices and topics, we're all here to help. If you are a regular, welcome back. So it is customary in Australia to begin any meetings by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we work, study, and reside, the Bodhi people of the Dharma Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I also pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are. The check-in sessions have been developed by our community of practice team and the entire community. These sessions aim to develop a reflective practice in response to changes. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we'd like to cultivate our practices and build memorable friendships. So for the June sessions, we are delighted to have Venerable Miao Guang back and share the Bodhi Light Tales, enjoying selected short stories of mindfulness and wisdom, and explore deeper meaning together. Today, Venerable Miao Guang will share an engaging story from Bodhi Light Tale number 26, titled Chilling Out in the Poop. So let's welcome Venerable Miao Guang.
Thank you very much, Xiaomeng. And good morning, everyone. Hello, Venerable Jiewei. Hello, Priscilla. And hello, Bodhisattvas and friends. Thank you for joining this week's session again. And so let's follow tradition to begin with a few minutes of mindfulness practice. And so may I invite you to be comfortable in your chair. Just a couple of things to take note of. Please make sure that the soles of your feet are touching the ground. Your spine is straightened in a comfortable and non-stressful way. And make sure that your chest is also straight, so you're not slouching, which will actually hinder the circulation of your air and energy. And place both of your hands on your thighs in a relaxed way, and let us begin. Now, just as my body is settled on this chair, may my mind also settle on this body, which will serve as a guide for me to stay grounded and be in touch with reality at the same time. Allow me to maintain bare attention. Last week, we practiced bare attention by asking everyone to follow me in ensuring that the mind lands on different parts of our body, going from skull down to ear, neck, shoulder, chest, and so on, all the way to the bottom of our feet. And each time our mind lands on a certain part of our body, the practice was just to remain aware of the existence of skin. So if you're familiar with the practice, this week we are moving deeper into the presence or the existence of flesh. So let us begin. As I'm aware, present all around my skull, as a part of my body, there's the presence of flesh. Around my face, flesh. Around my neck, flesh. My left shoulder, through my left forearm, flesh. My right shoulder, through to my right forearm, flesh. As I do this, I'm simply establishing awareness of the presence of flesh without any labeling, that they're just there below a layer of skin. nothing else. I do this as if I am a farmer walking around the field with a bag of seeds that has a hole in it. My thoughts are like this seed. Every time I pass the field, as a seed drops, it's behind me. So as I practice bare attention by doing the body scan, any thought that arises, let us just be aware of it and move on. Now, let's bring the mind to our chest area. As I'm aware of the presence around this part of my body, which is the chest, there is flesh, abdomen, flesh, my upper back, flesh, my lower back, flesh. Should my mind wander, let us simply smile and say, my thoughts have taken a ride. Now let us bring it back and allow it to be grounded on this body. Now, my hip, flesh, my left thigh, flesh, my lower left leg, which is the shin, flesh, my left foot, which is touching the floor or the ground, either with or without my shoes, flesh. Now my right thigh, flesh, my right shin, flesh, my right foot, which is touching the ground, either through the shoes or not. There's flesh. Now, as we do this, our mind lands on different parts of our body as a way to establish awareness and to focus on the here and now. Let us also be aware of the fact that each part of our body is a conditioned matter that relies on various criteria in order to exist. But once the criteria disperse, we move on. It is the same as everything that we experience in this world, which puts us on equal terms with every single matter. So through this practice, as we establish mindfulness through the practice of bare attention, we also establish a wonderful connection with everything else in this world on equal basis. We are all the same, we are interdependent, we are momentary, but at the same time, we are all here. Let us take 3 deep breaths to end this short practice. Please breathe in, out, in, out, in, out. Wonderful. Let us slowly open our eyes and come into this moment. So our mind and body are fully settled in the here and now in this morning's community or practice session. Now let us move on to this week's story. We're doing poop this Sunday. Well, this is a renowned Chan master's story. His name was Zhao Zhou, a very famous master who, through everyday actions, guided his disciples and devotees through establishing awareness in the simplest matters and actions. so that we stay focused and undiscriminated. This story is not only amusing, but it also offers profound wisdom on how to find inner peace amidst life's challenges. So let us dive right in. Once upon a time in ancient China, there lived a famous Chan master named Zhao Zhou, who was known for his extraordinary wisdom and longevity. He was known to have lived up to 120 years old. And even in his late 80s, Zhao Zhou continued to travel, to explore, and to learn, always keeping his mind open and emptied. One day, Zhao Zhou and his disciple Wen Yan, they were engaged in a discussion about Chan, the practice of meditation and mindfulness, in brief. Suddenly, a devotee arrived at the temple, bringing a piece of hot cake for the Chan master. Well, we can regard it as a box of pancake. So the two of them started to wonder, okay, there's only one piece of hot cake, so how should we split it between us? Asked Zhao Zhou. Wen Yan spoke up. Well, master, he gave it to you, it's yours. Please have it. No, this isn't fair. I cannot just take it. What are you thinking? The disciple remained silent, unaware and unsure of how to respond. And then the Chan master suggested, how about we now have a contest to see who should have the cake? We should use the dirtiest, smelliest, and most lowly word to describe ourselves. Whoever can describe themselves with the dirtiest, smelliest, and lowliest word will win the cake. Okay, sure, master. Please, after you, said the student. So Zhao Zhou began. I am a donkey, Wen Yan responded. If you're a donkey, then I am the donkey's butt, the ass. And then the teacher said, if you're the ass, then I am the poop in the ass, said Zhao Zhou. The student replied, well, if you're the poop in the ass, then I am the maggot in the poop, replied the student. Puzzled, Zhao Zhou asked, okay, hold on a second. What is a maggot doing inside the poop? And to his surprise, the student said, I, the maggot, am simply chilling out in the poop. Zhao Zhou was very pleased with his student's answer. They both laughed heartily, and then they shared the cake. So this is the story which I chose when Xiaomeng asked what I would like to talk about 2 days ago. And I found it amusing because it reflects very well with the saying that when a mind is pure, the world that the mind lives in is just as pure. So being able to chill out in the poop means that our mind must be pure and carefree in order for us to find peace, even in the most unpleasant situations. So many of us may live in comfortable houses and comfortable surroundings, but we often carry the burdens of worries and anxiety, resulting from conflicts between what is good or bad, or gain and loss. So in that sense, even if we live in a grand penthouse, we might still find it difficult to fall asleep if our minds are troubled. So bodhisattvas, or enlightened beings, are always at ease anywhere, anytime. There is a saying, out of the fierce flames blossoms the red lotus. That's how lotuses in this world grow. The fierce flame represents our anger. If we can extinguish it, then a pure lotus can grow from it. This is the way of Chan, just like how a lotus grows from muddy water. So today, I bring forward this story for us to think about how well and how able are we to make peace with what is happening around the world. We always talk about reality as it is and reality as it should be. And so, as I think about this, I'm reminded of Venerable Master Xingyun's younger days. When he first arrived in Taiwan, there was not a single temple that wanted to take him in. Until finally, there was a temple near Taipei under the leadership of Master Miao Guang. He took him in and he said, okay, from now on, we'll take care of it. You stay settled and do anything you need. And out of gratitude, Venerable Master decided to be of service to the temple. And the way he offered his service to the temple was to wake up very early to collect water for the temple, because back in those days, there were no water pipes or electricity. He would also wake up early to go into the market to buy food for the entire monastery for the day. And then during the day, he would go and clean the toilet. As he described this, he shared with us how he actually cleaned the toilet. It wasn't just with a brush or any tools to scrub the toilet. He did it to the extent that once he cleaned it thoroughly, those were the squatting toilets back in those older days, where it's just a hole on the ground with very basic porcelain material. And so after he cleaned it, he said he would actually get on his knees and hands to bend down and to personally check with his eyes if there is anything else left stuck in the gaps. And if he had found any of the dirt or stain, he would actually use his fingernails to scrape out the stain to make sure that the toilet was very, very clean. And as we listen to this story, we would often frown and think, okay, how can you bear to deal with the filth? Isn't that kind of gross? And somehow he read the messages on my mind, and he actually told us, well, actually, when your mind is not attached to filth, anything you do is a way to help you transcend it. And so this reflects quite well with our story of the day about the poop. We come across many things not to our liking every day, especially things that are not clean. And I know it would be a very huge thing for those who want to make sure everything is clean. For example, we have to make sure we wash our hands before we eat. There are some of us who will make sure that when we come home, the first thing we do will be changing out of our clothes. So nothing we bring into the house will be landing on the sofa or even more on the bed. So I have a friend who says, anyone who, without taking a shower, sits on my bed will make me feel as if there are 1,000 bugs crawling across my body. And if we do that, we need to think about how we are able to free our minds from all of this in order to find peace. Yeah, so I'm going to stop here for a while, and maybe in time for discussion, it would be interesting to hear your perspective on how you free yourselves from the burdens of life or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. How do we overcome it in order to realize the saying, when the mind is pure, the world that the mind lives in will also be pure. I'm just going to stop here, and thank you for listening to the stories, and I look forward to your reflections and sharing.
Okay, thank you, Venerable Miao Guang, for sharing this story and also the story from Venerable Master Xingyun with us. I think this tale delves into the profound teaching of Chan, illustrating how enlightenment and peace can emerge from the most unexpected of circumstances. So reflecting on this story, maybe here are the questions to be discussed. First, can you share an instance where you found peace or joy in a seemingly uncomfortable or undesirable situation? And what did this experience teach you about finding inner tranquility regardless of external conditions? How do we keep a pure mind in the situation of uncomfortableness or undesirableness? So now we will be placed in groups of 3 to 4 to share and discuss. In the discussion, we recommend you spend some time getting to know each other and then discussing our questions. There will be some Zoom notifications to guide you, but feel free to let the flow of your discussions guide you. Our sessions are guided by metta, which is unconditional love and kindness for all sentient beings. Let's use this breakout room discussion to express and receive loving kindness to and from one another, and take time to pause, share, and listen. We'll also ask you to share some of your findings with the larger group at the end of the breakout room discussion. So now let's go to our breakout rooms for rich and nourishing discussions. See you all back in 15 minutes. Yeah, seems like everyone is already back from the breakout room discussion. And please feel free to leave some of your thoughts in the chat box. So our poster team will design a beautiful poster later and for us to reflect. So thank you, Venerable Miao Guang. We really hope the check-in session was helpful to you. And we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion of this community. But for anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. And you can also reach out to the professional organizations on the screen. And next week, Venerable Miao Guang will continue joining us online and share with us the wisdom from the Bodhi Light Tales. So if you have time, please come and join us. As we check out today, let's recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to whoever is in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
So thank you, Venerable Miao Guang, again for your time and the generous sharing with us today. Thank you, Joy, for being our IT master behind the scenes. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Now we will have our Euro plenary session, so please stay around if you have time. Otherwise, see you all again next Sunday at 11 a.m.